anybody who's in a band out there who doesn't necessarily have like the connections or the hookups that they wish, you can do it. I mean, it takes a little while, but you can do it. Just. I mean, I hate to have the Star Spangled Banner playing in the background, but just don't give up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's because so many people do give up that if you're one of the people who don't give up, then you're the one still in the game.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you've been very active. I mean, before all of this extensive travel, you guys did a lot of extensive touring around America.
220 shows a year.
So, yeah. I mean, you played more out of town than you played in Boston.
Yeah.
So,
well, you got to be careful. I mean, I mean, you probably know best, but it's like a lot of Boston bands have the fear of leaving.
I know.
And they always kind of think that people are just going to show up and put wonderful down comforters all around them and, make them feel comfy. But they have to get out there. I mean, it's a little curse with Boston that people are scared to tour.
They're afraid to tour.
You gotta tour. I mean, it's you can be the head. You could sell out local clubs as much as you want, but you got to be brave enough to go to places that don't care who you are.
Rick Barton recently of Continental, it was like one of his things, the Facebooks and people come up on your feed. And Continental have been, Rick was with the Dropkicks and then with the Outlets way back when you were just a toddler. But, and he's got Continental now. That's his latest band. And he made a comment that really rang true and probably stung a lot of bands that aren't touring. And he said, and as much as it killed me to read that, programming local music and seeing so many bands from this area, he said, you're not a band unless you're touring, unless you're getting out there and you're traveling and you're playing and you're doing this 24/7. I mean, you can't really call yourself
Absolutely.
a professional band.
Well, I mean, to a band that tours, like you were saying, so much, it's like the audacity for a band to want to be looked at as great and wonderful in their hometown, but too scared.
Yeah.
Too scared to go out there. And I mean, the only shows that I really adrenaline enjoy are the ones where you have to prove yourself. Like, I mean, just local guys, Dropkick Murphys. I mean, when we would hit the road with the Dropkick Murphys, it was during the time where the Dropkick Murphys had such wily fans that they would do the chant, for opening bands. And the best way to describe that is nobody wants to see a baseball game before the Red Sox. You know what I mean? So nobody wants to see a band play before the Dropkicks. You know what I mean? So, but what I'm getting at is it's those shows that you go out there and you have adrenaline and you're nervous and you want to make it work. That's exciting. The other shows are entertaining. Like if you just want to entertain, go ahead. But no, you got to go out there and get the adrenaline, just like your first show when you were young, and go, what if they don't like us? What if they don't like us? What if they don't like us?
When that adrenaline is no longer there, it's time to throw the towel in,
Yeah,
right?
and
It's
I think
over.
Boston bands got to be brave and get out there. And
All right. I like that.
Yeah.
And, the one thing that scares, I think, a lot of Boston bands, or a lot of bands anywhere, is that they're afraid of, some of them are settled in or whatever, and they're afraid to let go of that job. And
absolutely.
It's a scary thing. But then again, life is chances. It's fun. That's, you make a choice and you do it. Right?
Yeah, well, it's like if you're 30 and you're in a band in Boston, some people are like, oh, well, what are you doing? But if you're 30 in California or any other place in the world, you're a spring chicken. And so I think, you're right, that our culture kind of in Boston is kind of like, less, you can do it, go do it.
What do you have coming up in Boston, speaking of which? Are you going to be doing a show here?
Yeah, we have, we do our Halloween shows every year. But before that, we're doing, I think at the end of May, we're doing a special show. Our first two records we're releasing on vinyl for the first time. So we're doing a show playing those two records like cover to cover.
In Boston? Wait a minute, though. You're leaving for... How long are you going to be gone on your travels?
We get back like mid-May.
Oh, okay.
So the end of May, we're going to do that.
For some reason, because it's so extensive.
Yeah.
I was thinking you were going to be gone for months.
Yeah. It's a
Wow.
National Geographic expedition somewhere.
Yeah, I know. So it's another one of those panic things. You're
Yeah.
going to be squeezing everything in
Yeah.
very far away from home. Okay, so May is, you're looking at your next show. Tell me about this. Do you have it set up, or do you know where it's going to be? Or
I think it's going to be at the Paradise. Are you allowed to say that?
Okay.
It will be at the Paradise or the same people who own the Paradise.
Right.
So it'll be it'll be in that
Yeah.
in that area.
I
But
wish I could say I don't understand what you mean, but I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah. We know pretty much when and where it's gonna happen, but I don't know that the ink is dry.
We're really
Which venue it will be at? Which
We were really excited because
specific?
we posted that we were thinking about doing it, and a lot of old schoolers are so excited. And these old schoolers, they have kids and they're old, but they just are so excited that we're going to play records from 1997 to 1999.
That's right. You're
Yeah.
going to be doing the record thing
Yeah.
too. And where can folks reach you if they want to find their favorite album, or do you have a website with your music and your information?
Yeah, I guess like our Facebook or our website.
Big D and the Kids
iTunes.
Table, right?
.com,
Okay.
BigDandthekidstable.com, and
All
Big
right.
D, yeah. We're all over.
You're everywhere. and your new record, you have a double record coming out.
Yeah, it came out the summer, and one's called Stomp and one's called Stroll, so it's Stomp and Stroll.
Okay.
And like I was kind of saying, Stomp's more like the ska punk, and Stroll is the Stroll.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those are brand new, and folks can get them at bigd.com.
Yeah.
Big D and the kidstable.com.
Yeah, and put out by us. And what's really cool is our first records were put out by us by ourselves such a long time ago that it's so fun to kind of have it come back around. And again, we're doing it by ourselves, and it just feels great.
Wow. And
Yeah.
all this on the backside of coming back from China and all of that. I mean,
We're just doing so much back to doing it by ourselves. And, the one thing to remember is no one's going to work harder for you than you. And we are doing that once again.
I hear you. It's so great to see you
Thanks.
back and around, and
Yes.
I'm honored that we caught you in between two
yeah.
very, very long journeys that you're taking on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
So thank you so
Thank you,
much,
guys.
Big D and the Kids Table. Let's hear a big round of
Hey,
applause.
yeah.
And I wish you the best of luck and come back.
Thanks.
Now that we've broken the ice here.
Yes.
I mean, it's not like you have to travel all the way across the world to come here and be on the show.
Well, we're all going back to the rehearsal space. You guys can all sleep over.
Okay, Slumber Party. A big thanks to Big D and the Kids Table. And we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back with some more Bay State rock for you in just a couple of moments here on WAAF.